My name is Farmerfarms, and I've been playing Mage and World of Warcraft Classic with speed kill guilds for years. I was the rank 1 Mage in Season of Discovery, and I'm currently rank 7 in SSC TK, with only one Innervate for most fights. Today, I want to show you some lesser known tricks that can dramatically increase your damage and improve your parses, even if your raid group isn't perfectly optimized. When most people think of Arcane Mage, they think of one thing: Arcane Blast. It's basically a one-button rotation. But while Arcane Blast is the only button you'll spend most of your time pressing, there's a lot of ways to optimize your cooldowns that can add thousands of extra damage over the course of a fight. If you're a troll, you're in for a treat. And if you're not, stick around because the last two tricks work for everyone. Trick number 1, abuse Berserking. One of the most misunderstood racials in the game is Berserking. It increases your cast speed for 10 seconds, and the haste scales based on your missing health, from 10% all the way up to 30%. That means the lower your health is before the pull, the stronger Berserking becomes. Fortunately, on many fights, you can safely lower your health beforehand. Most people know about Skull of Impending Doom. It was available in vanilla, and in TBC, it drains a flat percentage of both health and mana, making it incredibly useful for setting up Berserking. But in addition, there are several pieces of negative stamina gear that makes dropping your health even easier. The pieces are Cowl of Necromancy, Cloak of Rot, Black Widow Band, and Brainlash, in addition to Doomsayer's Robes, the Skull of Impending Doom quest reward chest. Brainlash deserves a special mention because it's incredibly rare. It drops as a random blue in Zul'Farrak. I've only seen it a handful of times on the auction house, and it usually sells for a premium. But the negative 10 stamina makes it one of the best pieces for the setup. Don't empty your mana bar. Now that you've got your health drop set equipped, except there's one problem. Swapping into a full negative stamina set also destroys your mana pool. Nobody wants to wait a full minute every pull while the mage drinks back to full mana. Luckily, there's an easy workaround. After you've filled all of your negative stamina gear, you can fill your remaining off pieces with of intellect gear, which gives 0 stamina. You can still keep your health low enough for berserking, but you preserve your mana pool. Even without full raid buffs or consumables, you can swap between your normal set and your health drop set without losing any mana. One small tip: make sure that you already have conjured water in your bags before the pull. You don't want to eat mage table biscuits since they'll heal you while restoring mana. Gear swapping. The add-on I use for all of this is Item Rack. I have each equipment set bound to my numpad so I can gear swap instantly before the pull. When I'm preparing Berserking, I always lower my health below 20%. So, once your Skull of Impending Doom is ready, you use it and immediately start drinking. Once your health is around 20%, make sure you unequip your Skull of Impending Doom, or you might find yourself asking for a res and delaying the pull even further. As there's almost a guaranteed delay between when the pull actually happens, I want to guarantee that I'm still below 40%, which is why I want to drop my health down to around 20%. Don't stack Berserking with Bloodlust. This is probably the biggest mistake I see troll mages make. If your guild uses Heroism or Bloodlust immediately on pull, don't use Berserking at the same time. And honestly, there's no reason for you to drop health on those fights. You're already hitting the global cooldown cap, so most Berserking's haste gets wasted. Instead, keep Berserking on its own keybind and use it after Bloodlust expires. Here's the math. At 4 Arcane Blast stacks, your cast time drops from roughly 1.5 seconds down to around 1.15 seconds with a full 30% Berserking. Over those 10 seconds, that's roughly 4 extra Arcane Blasts you wouldn't otherwise cast. Even without crits or cooldowns, an Arcane Blast hits for around 2800 damage. That's over 11,000 damage at a minimum and well over 20,000 damage with crits. On fights like Alar, where Bloodlust is almost always used immediately, saving Berserking for your second cooldown window can still gain you anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 damage, even if you only get the minimum haste bonus. Trick number 2. Snowballs. This next trick works for everyone, not just Horde. If you still have snowballs from last year's Winter's Veil, that's great. If not, you can grab some on the auction house. They're surprisingly useful. You can throw snowballs before each spell to proc Judgment of Wisdom without interrupting your casting rhythm. As long as you're not spell batching your next Arcane Blast too early, you can weave in snowballs throughout longer fights. Over the course of an encounter, this can restore hundreds or even thousands of mana. And, as an Arcane Mage, mana is damage. This is especially valuable if your raid doesn't run a Shadow Priest or your druids mysteriously never notice your Innervate whispers. Tying this back to cooldowns. During the Lust window with Icy Veins, you are already below the 1 second GCD. This is the window where you are almost guaranteed to be able to cast snowballs before each Arcane Blast. Make sure in your macro you have /use snowball before your /cast Arcane Blast. Speaking about Innervates, track them. WeakAuras can monitor cooldowns, but I personally recommend Method Raid Tools. It allows you to see your raid's major cooldowns, including Innervate, so you know exactly when it's available before whispering your friendly neighborhood druid. Trick number 3. Dig Rat. This last trick is definitely the sweatiest. Meet the humble Dig Rat. It's a portable critter that most people completely overlook. If you coordinate with a druid, they can cast Cyclone on the rat before the pull, allowing you to pre-stack Arcane Blast without entering combat. Starting up the fight with 3 Arcane Blasts save nearly 2 full seconds of ramp-up time. Depending on the fight, that's another 2,000 to 5,000 free damage before anyone else has even started their rotation. Even if your raid isn't perfectly optimized, these little tricks add up to a huge amount of extra damage over the course of a fight. And who knows, maybe you'll parse high enough that every Innervate magically starts finding its way to you. If you've got any other Arcane Mage tricks or hidden tech, leave them in the comments. I'd love to feature some of them in a future video. You can find me on Twitch at Farmerfarms. My guild TTK is currently pushing SSC TK kill times for the next 4 weeks until the end of the phase. We raid Tuesday through Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time until around 9:30 p.m. In addition, I do other content such as Season of Discovery, which I stream on Mondays, among other things. I look forward to seeing you at the stream.
Farmerfarms is a farmer, he knows just what to do. Whether it's late in the evening or in the morning dew. Just when the sun is rising, he hears from his crew. We don't have time for farming,